It's a super honor to have you guys here. This will be the third in the creator series of the monthly polls for Decentraland DAO. And you guys are obviously super powerhouses in this community, and I'm very stoked to share what your journey and what you're currently working on with the rest of the community. So hopefully they may learn, get inspired, and hopefully start engaging and become a more active member of the Decentraland DAO. And before we dive in, I'm like, dude, I've been looking through all your stuff, and it's like, I can't believe how much you guys have been doing since you started. It's insane. Like, over 250 since you started, and like, you do stuff Fashion Week, parkour, mini games, obviously streaming, because, you know, I know Frisky Bumblebee from back in the day when I was doing a lot of streaming, and like, what don't you guys do? It's insane.
Yeah, it is. It's a lot of work for sure, but it's so much fun. And since we came into Decentraland, I entered the space around almost 2 years ago now. We've just tried to be as like consistent as possible with events, and we've moved around loads of different locations. But thankfully, the Decentraland team, Toonpunk and Peanut Butter, were able to hook us up with the land that we're at right now, and we've been using this over the past year really to host events on. And like you said, yeah, we've done basically everything here. We've done parkours, we've done fashion shows, we've done mini games, we've done seed free scavenger hunts, anything that we can think of that would be entertaining for the community. We've tried to make it happen where we're standing inside the Centerland right now.
No, wicked. Yeah, I was actually reading up on that. And so you guys got delegated the land from Peanut Butter and Toonpunk. That's 12 parcels. Is that right?
Yeah, it is. It is. We're currently only using one as just testing out the game and kind of the functionalities of it, but we do have access to these like 12 parcels that we're standing on right now.
That's massive. That's a huge. I've never actually. I didn't know. Oh, here's Fede. He's our new member of the facilitation squad. If our grant passes, we have a couple more hours. Hi, Fede. How are you?
Hey there. How are you guys?
Hey, nice to meet you.
Good.
Nice
to meet you
Pleasure
too.
meeting you.
Yeah, I wanted to invite him. Usually it's just me hanging out, and I'm always trying to get the other facilitators because we all do different roles. But I'm like, it's so much fun to actually get to see what the community's building and doing, and just run around. So yeah, I'm stoked you're able to be here. And Fede, you're here for about a half an hour or so, you said, right?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, I got another meeting coming, so yeah, I'm going to stay for a half an hour.
Cool. Well, maybe what we can do is you were saying, Frisky, we can jump over to your parcel, and then I guess we can dive in with all my questions for y'all.
Yeah,
That's
sure
cool.
thing. So one of the things we wanted to show or kind of like highlight, so, as right now we're starting to test stress testing the Cyberstrive RPG game, in that one parcel, so we can kind of get an idea. So ultimately we want to create, the smallest size of 1x1 parcel. So any landowner who owns a 1x1 or even an estate can, can scale it up or do whatever they want, give them the freedom to have different customization options. So we started here with the generator. So that will be one round. So as soon as you click in the generator, it should say start. And then enemies will start slowly coming into the generator, trying to destroy it. So the ultimate goal is for you to, destroy the enemies before they destroy the generator. And you have different options available. So, if you have a Cyberstrive axe, you can use that to attack the enemies. And one of the things we're still trying to implement is the cannon feature where, because what we're foresee is once it goes to wave 10 or 12, it's going to get too hectic to use just purely the axe. So then, we want to use the cannon and stuff. So this is kind of an idea of what we're trying to stress test is to get an idea of how the enemies are interacting. And I sent you a few images of how the enemies will look, down the line. But in terms of coding, we want to make sure the logic is there. The enemies go towards the generator, and we're almost done with the closed loop sequence. So the next step for this is for us to take it to our partners in MetaZone. They will upload it as a meta, and then it will be implemented on their site. So once it gets implemented on their site, all the waves will start getting the rays will get better as we go, and the save game delegation feature will be implemented as well.
No, wicked. And yeah, I guess here, let me see. Jumped a little ahead, and I saw one of the cool things when I was reading through here. I saw obviously the monetization strategy and also your guys' plan to do DAO repayment, which is, it seems to be the growing trend in the community. Can you guys speak a little bit about what made you guys decide to include that, and how that's going to work for the community to be aware of?
For sure. Do you want to take it, Frisky, or do you want me to take this one?
I kind of kick it off. So
Awesome.
in our, like, you know, a lot of people's perception. So originally we put it in the pre-proposal forum, and a lot of people would say like, hey, you know, MetaParty team, you know, it's really noble of you guys to, you know, repay the DAO, but you don't have to because it's a grant and X, Y, and Z. Personally, you know, the thing is, we're in the bear market. You know, there's so much things happening, you know, in terms of finance and the culture, even in the Web3 realm. We don't know what's going to happen in the next year or two, you know. And so what we're going to do to create a trend to sustain the DAO, you know, and that's when, you know, the team, you know, Rezinator, T3, we all came together and it's like, hey, let's implement a royalty, because, you know, the Decentraland community, the DAO, is trusting us with, you know, this grant to, you know, perform our duties. We should also, you know, have the same reciprocity and pay them back as well, because when we pay back the DAO, that, you know, that extra 60,000 could be used for another creator or whatever. So we want to try to create the idea where, yes, you know, it is a sustainable model where you as a creator can come to an idea and the DAO will pay you, but we want to try to create or open other pathways where the DAO can sustain themselves for new creators to come on board.
Yeah, I think that's super important. And yeah, I was excited when I saw that in there, and I figured, if, you know, since I know you, Frisky, from back in the day, I figured if you're on the team, that probably would be something that definitely would happen. And actually, before we dive, let's head over to your parcel. I think, Frisky, you're saying, and what are the coordinates for that?
It is -2845. Let's see. I think that's right. Yeah, -28. Let's see. 45. Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
I don't have my glasses, so.
Oh, no worry.
I should know it.
There it is. -2845.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Yeah, and we kind of jumped into this, like, guys told me a little bit about this, but usually I would love to hear a little bit more about each of your crypto rabbit hole journeys into Decentraland.
Personally, I came across Decentraland through TikTok back in 2021, the start of 2021. No, 2020 actually. Yeah. The end of 2020, I found Decentraland on TikTok, and it was actually a creator kind of talking down on Decentraland, how the graphics are poor and how you know, they don't believe in this game, etc. And now I've watched the video and I disagree with almost every statement he made about Decentraland, and I didn't even enter the space by that time. So I had to log in as soon as possible and create a MetaMask wallet and just see what Decentraland is about for myself. As soon as I logged in, I was met by 100 Rainbows, who's still in the game now, actually works at DG, the casino, inside Decentraland. And yeah, I got a very warm welcome from him. He took me around Decentraland on a tour, just out of the kindness of his own heart, and explained all of the utilities behind Decentraland and how, you know, it's not like Roblox, for example. It's more of an open global cafe. It's how it was like first put to me. And I just fell in love with Decentraland almost instantly as soon as I entered the space. And Decentraland got me into crypto. So I never had any crypto before entering Decentraland. I never had Mana. I never had Ethereum. I literally had nothing in my MetaMask wallet. And I started learning everything through DCL. And the people that I met inside DCL were able to teach me about other cryptos and Mana and staking and trading, for example. And yeah, it just really opened my mind to the crypto and Web3 kind of universe. And I was lucky enough to come across some very kind people inside Decentraland who gave me operator rights on a 2x2, just at a random location on the map for about 6 months. And that was the kind of the start of MetaParty. This is how MetaParty came about. If we didn't have that land, the 2x2, who knows, we might not be hosting events inside Decentraland right now. We really needed that opportunity to get our foot in the door. And from there, we've just kind of learned lessons through each event we've hosted, tried out different kind of experiences for the community to take part in. And yeah, we've hosted now 300 plus events inside Decentraland, which is insane to think about.
No, I love that. I love, like, hearing people's stories. I think mine is similar too. Like, when I first came on, it was just some random person helping me And from there, I ended up, it's just like these amazing connections that sometimes happen when you come in here, and it's down the rabbit hole. And I think it's just so important to have these community members that are like that, like to give other newbies these opportunities to like come build, come explore, build, and engage in here. And yeah, I love that. So you just met him in the plaza, in like Genesis Plaza?
Yeah, literally just walked around Genesis Plaza. Awesome. I just typed in a chat saying, "Hey guys, I'm new here. Can anyone like show me around?" And literally the first reply within the second was 100 rainbows saying, "Hey, come for a tour. I'll show you around my my Amazon shop inside of Decentraland." And it was really eye opening.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
same. Same for me.
So that's T3 speaking on the call as well.
Hey,
Who's another
T3.
founder of MetaParty. And we both were introduced to Decentraland from 100 Rainbows. We both stumbled across him when we first came into the space. Yeah, and he connected us together. And again, that's how MetaParty was formed.
Is he also like now? Does he come to your events and like is he like super
Yeah,
active? I'm sure.
He's in Australia.
Sometimes,
so
I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, Sundays in Australia, and we're in the UK. It's literally like opposite time zones. So we do see him now and then inside the Decentraland, but he's also very busy with his own brand in Web2 and Amazon, and also working for Decentral Games. So we don't see each other enough, but we're always grateful every time that we do run into him.
Oh, wicked. So you just, T3, you said you also, like, how did you first hear about Decentraland? Was it TikTok as well, or just like random other friends?
No, it's just, it's kind of complicated. It wasn't through social media or anything. It was like through a random Google search one day. I just like, because I heard about blockchain quite a while ago, and I was thinking, what's already existing? So I was like, all right, well, it'd be cool to see if a VR blockchain application existed. So I Googled it, and it did, because I wanted to make my own, but I obviously didn't. And Decentraland is not VR, I guess. And when I first came in, it was like empty, so I just left and went to VR chat. But obviously, like further down the line, I met people in Decentraland. Just went in with 100 rainbows. Met people in different servers in Discord. I think ever since I started using Discord, that's when I started to have a reason to stay.
Have you tested out the VR client?
No.
Yeah, I interviewed them last. They're super cool. I mean, I would love VR chat too. I know a lot of builders within VR chat, and it's
VR
funny how and a lot of that community is coming into Web3, into the metaverse, and starting to build in multiple metaverses, which is to me really cool to see. But yeah, VR chat. I just went to this insane event the other day that just blew my mind. And it's like I love the cross pollination, right? Like exploring that.
In VR chat, you can like make stuff in Unity, which I want to happen in Decentraland.
Yes.
So that'd be so cool. But
no,
it's not here yet.
And Frisky, what about you?
Man, that's gonna be. Before we dive into that, my parcel, by the way, is -28, -45. I just noticed on the screen. I was like, man, is it my parcel? Do I have too much stuff or whatnot?
Okay, let me check. Negative. Wait, what is it? -48?
-28, -45.
Okay. Oh, -45. That's
yeah.
Okay.
That's totally my fault.
I kept seeing these links, and I was like, wait a minute. Okay. It's cool. Everybody has like the Christmas theme right now, so it's all good.
Yeah.
But yeah, the way I got into the crypto space, like, I was originally, when I first heard of crypto was obviously Bitcoin back in, I think it was 2009, 2010 is when I first heard of it. And I was living in New York City during that time. And, I thought it was absolutely incredible, like, the kind of technology like that's being built. And, there was a lot of skepticism at that time, too, because they're like, it's digital currency. So what? And, one of the things that was interesting, a gentleman actually bought a box of domino pieces with Bitcoins, and he paid like, I don't know, like 2,000 Bitcoins or something like that. I bet now he like,
10,000, right?
Dude,
yeah.
It's
So I
expensive
bet right now
pizza.
he's probably like, dang it, man, what the hell? But what the way I got introduced actually to the Decentraland was one community member, Goldilocks. She's the one who kind of like advocated that. It was like, yo, you got to check out the Decentraland. It's a really great platform. It's super cool. And, I've seen a lot of TikTok videos and stuff. So originally I thought it was kind of like, what's that game called? Like one of these, I forgot the exact name of it, but I thought it was just kind of like a game. That's all I thought it was originally. But then when I started getting involved, I was like, man, it's so much more than a game. You have this unique social aspect. You're meeting individuals from all around the globe, and participating in these social events, games, mini games, challenges, quests, and I thought there's something beautiful and unique in that. And that's what kind of got me, really involved in Decentraland was, just kind of dealing with that. And I recall, one of my first events when I published the Cyber Ninja collection, I actually reached out to Rezinator because he was doing the community fashion show. And I was like, I don't know. I'm probably not going to, they're probably going to say no because, I'm still kind of new to the space. And I remember Rezinator's like, hey, can you send me some pictures? And I did. And he was like, dude, you got some cool stuff. We'll love you to come to the community fashion show and we'll put you here with the group chat with the other creators. And I was like, oh my God, this is so cool, man. So got involved, was just really excited to be a part of it. And, I joined the Decentraland report for a period of time, like early ending of April. So I was a reporter for quite some time. And, September, actually, fast forward September, Rezinator, he hit me up. He was like, hey, would you like to join the team? And I was like, man, heck yeah, man. This is like a dream come true, man. You guys are super cool. You guys gave me the opportunity, earlier this year, that it just sounds like a great deal. So fast forward, I'm here now.
No, wicked. Yeah, it's I thought I saw something. So is this your area, or am I not? Is that building right there, or is it blank right now?
You're close. I'm not that cool. Let's see, -28, -45. So
negative 45. Okay, I'm
yeah.
not. I see. I keep. Okay, hold on a second. I will find it.
I think you're really close.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah,
okay, I see somebody. Is that? Yeah. Here, I'll follow you. Oh, I like your
I
sweater.
can see you. I can see you.
Look at that cool sweater.
Sorry to quickly interrupt. Is this build something that you've made and then you've deployed Rovie on top of that?
Yeah, so, and this is kind of like what I wanted to showcase with the power of MetaZone. So, this building was purchased through the MetaZone website, and then I deployed the Rovie game onto the land. So as soon as you enter through like those main doors, Fractilians, you see like a little UI start popping up where it has the Rovie daily challenges. I have 3 holograms in the corner, and there's sometimes you get traffic too. Like you see there's certain individuals who are playing the game, and you see all these Rovies like kind of like attacking each other. So that's what's also unique about, having these features. It will drive traffic to your land, and for a parcel owner, like, they may want to incorporate something like that. Like, they might want to make a build specifically where they incorporate Rovie, or in our case, Cyberstrife RPG, but also have their kind of stuff. So like, this is the bottom floor where it has like, where my idea was like, you could have a game or whatnot. Then the second floor, you can check out like, the rest of the build or the building where it has a pool. It has some of the features of like, wearables I published and I collaborated with. And I don't know, it just kind of gives you the power to do so many things, and, in our case, like where we're going to distribute the first meta, it's going to be a game, and I think that's what's so unique about MetaZone's capabilities is the power to distribute certain aspects of the game, whether it's the actual full game, whether it's the kiosk, whether it's a repair station to repair your weapons, your armor or whatnot. I think that empowers landowners to, do certain builds to, increase traffic, and also, advertisement too. While someone's here playing Rovie, if I would have had like, designed it a little bit more, but if I would have my socials or whatever, maybe individuals will also check out those social things. So I don't know. I think it's really great technology, and I'm really excited that, us here in MetaParty is partnering with MetaZone.
Yeah, no, it's cool, and it's funny because talking about rabbit holes, like I found out about Decentraland personally from DCL Blogger, and they've done stuff with MetaZone with all their, I have meta keys from back in the day, so you were able to, you got those little, if you had land, you could deploy your
Nice.
MetaZone little builds, and so yeah, I totally think that's super helpful, especially for people just wanting to start doing something that's not super technically challenging. Now there's all these advances with the SDK and everything that's happening, but still to have easy modular type of implementation methods for the community, and now also with worlds, right? Like worlds
Absolutely.
is a whole other awesome have you guys like played around with that, or is that, can you deploy in there as well, or have you done that?
I haven't messed around with worlds. I've seen it briefly, and I think it's associated with the names that you're mint, right? Or
Yeah, and like I think you can have. I think I haven't played in there. I know that Odd Job has been doing a little bit of stuff in there, but I was just curious if you can deploy what you guys have for the game in Worlds. I haven't done that, or seen that yet, but I'm sure I would assume you could, right?
yeah, I'm pretty sure we can.
I don't see why not. Obviously, we need to ask MetaZone on that. But I wouldn't see why you wouldn't be able to deploy it in Worlds. It's kind of the exact same as deploying it in Decentraland, right?
Yeah, that's. I need to go play in there and do that, because that, again, for somebody like me, I don't own land. It would be, because I want to, and I build in Unity, I build in VR, I build in 3D, but I would love. I've built through other people, but I would love to have a place that I can experiment and, like, oh, I'm going to go to MetaZone, buy this, buy your game, and really start, and that could open up to all the, the Minecrafters, the Robloxers come in, and you don't need thousands of dollars. You can start exploring and building with, I don't know. That's how I think of it. I'm like, okay, what do I want to play with next, right?
For sure.
So then, how did you guys connect with MetaZone? It was just like through you knowing from before, from playing with that, or why did you guys?
It was through Frisky, to be honest. So the original plan was for us to develop the Cyberstrife game on our own in our core team. But we quickly realized that we need the help of another, professional organization that can assist with taking the game to another level, so implementing like NFT delegation, implementing the actual metas, so you can play this game across multiple parcels within Decentraland. And yeah, Frisky kind of put us in contact with MetaZone. We had an initial call to just talk about the possibilities about collabing and the possibilities of working on the Cyberstrife game, and MetaZone really blew us away with their technology and their vision for Cyberstrife. And it was clear to me as soon as we ended that call that we need to work with MetaZone on Cyberstrife any way possible. And thankfully, our grant was passed. The community supported us in that, and
congrats on that.
And I mean, it's all thanks to Frisky. To be honest, he's a legend. He really is. He really is, because I heard about MetaZone before, but I never did my research enough into MetaZone. But Frisky, I mean, how did you find out about MetaZone, man? You were the connection.
Yeah, actually, I've heard about Rovi, and I was always curious. And I think while I was still a Decentraland reporter, they put out a request. They're like, hey, we want to kind of like showcase our features and, of Rovi, and talk a little bit about MetaZone. And, I think during that time, Kevin O'Nerf was unavailable. So I was like, hey, I would love to do it. And then we connected. We had I think it was a great interview, and, that's when I really dived into, like, I asked certain questions about their technical components, a little bit about their organization. And I was like, man, wow, like not only, MetaZone's been in this game, or, been within the Decentraland space for over 4 or 5 years now. So they've seen the technology, components, the limitations, and, they're always stay ahead of the game when it came to certain developments, and quickly after that meeting, I was like, wow, this is, these guys are super cool. And, and we kept good rapport too. Will, I always reach out to him. I was like, hey, if you ever needed to, go on a podcast or whatever, please reach out to me. And we had a really good rapport with Will. And when I joined the MetaParty team, first thing we would talk about, like kind of like Rezinator was, explaining, was like, how can we, internally, develop for Cyberstrife RPG, and the thing is, T3's our lead dev, but, we rely on him so much for development, for the deployment of Parcel, like parkour, mini game events. So he is like worked like 300% of the time. So he's overworked,
That's awesome.
just, he's trying his best. And sometimes, you see the camera and then you see his face frustration. I'm like, I'm sorry, T3, man. It's just, but, the cool thing was like, when I found out like, certain issues or vulnerabilities that we have at MetaParty, I was like, wow, I think MetaZone will be able to assist with this. And, I just thought it was great. I saw some of the limitations and gaps within MetaParty that, MetaZone can assist with. And I was like, man, I think this will be a great partnership. And that's when I reached out to Will and we set up a meeting. And yeah, we had an internal meeting in MetaParty. He was like, man, this sounds cool. We just wanted a save game feature, but having a delegation, holy cow, I think that'll be pretty awesome.
Yeah, super cool. Super cool.
So T3, are you the modeler as well? Are you the main 3D modeler, or?
Well, kind of. Well, I used to 3D model a lot more, and then Frisky started modeling, and then we have someone else who does a lot of modeling called Yummy. He's a pretty good modeler.
He's amazing. He's very.
I don't really model that much anymore. I just kind of code. I can do it. It's pretty fun to do modeling and stuff and wearables. Yeah. But yeah, I just kind of focus on the code right now.
Yeah, you don't have time to do the modeling anymore, man. Literally, he's been I feel sorry for T3 because literally, like since MetaParty began, he's been absolutely swamped with work constantly, literally constantly, and it's no exaggeration to say that he's been worked like 300% literally since MetaParty began. Like so, if it wasn't for T3, who knows what MetaParty would be right now? But yeah, Yummy is the person who's created the most of our wearables.
Wicked.
We have like 32 collections out. We've got like about 40 wearables published in total. And I think Yummy's made about 30 out of those 40 wearables. And yeah, he's a machine. He really is. He's made a lot of wearables and they're all very, very good quality for sure. And we used to sell wearables back in the day. A couple of them, well, I say back in the day, only a few months ago we were selling wearables. And Yummy was literally like every collection he put out was selling out. Obviously that's down to like pricing, marketing, etc. But yeah, I think Yummy sold out like 15 collections in a row or something, of legendary wearables. Damn. And he was pushing out like a new wearable every 3 days or something, which is insane.
Yeah. It's a lot of work to do wearables. I mean, he must have that just even the submission process is like, okay, let's hope everything works. Pray to the wearable gods and get everything to work. Yeah, and I wanted to show everybody the community. Here is your let me see. I was trying to share it. I think I had it here. Oh, here it is. Yeah, like in regards to your guys' proposal and what you guys are working on, there's so much more than, there's the game, which is amazing, and then there's all the other stuff you guys do. And it would be cool to just maybe walk through, this is, for me, like showcasing the proposal and the whole process is so important. So other people who are wanting to hopefully engage or maybe collaborate with other people to do their own proposal, like realize, the amount of work that goes in. Just the proposal itself, right, is like, you get it. I see that look. I'm like, some people just don't understand. Man. They ask me like, how long does it make to make a proposal? You're like, dude, us, it took a couple months, like. Yeah,
that's not a joke. That is no joke whatsoever. I think we started planning out our proposal in like September when Frisky joined the team. We started planning that proposal out, and obviously we didn't get it passed until like the 3rd of December. Yeah. So yeah, it was a very long process, a very, very long process. And the amount of work that goes in just to writing it, getting any supporting documents, so like a Canva presentation talking about the history of MetaParty, all of those little things like take up a lot of time. And obviously like trying to promote the actual proposal as well to get like eyes on it from the community is also a challenge as well. Like we did put a pre-proposal out there. It didn't get as much reactions as we wanted it to, which means that, the majority of the feedback came when we actually put the proposal out, which is a bit of an issue, in my opinion, that like the majority of the feedback only comes when you put the actual proposal out there, even though the pre-proposal should be used for that. That's a bit of an issue in my opinion, and it caused some stress, not too much, but it definitely caused some stress because we wanted a lot of feedback before we submitted it, just so we can maybe make some minor alterations, or taking the community's point of views. And we were only able to do that when the proposal was live. In addition, there was grants going around and proposals going around and pre-polls about stopping grants, about like halting it. So we were stressed that that was going to affect the outcome on our proposal, and we thought we waited too long, and we messed it up because we waited too long. And now they've got a poll out to stop these grants, and is that going to mean that people are going to vote no on us because of that poll? And it wasn't the case, but it was added stress for sure.
Yeah, and it's definitely like, I think a lot of people don't realize, like, even once you put the proposal out, there's that whole 2-week almost campaigning period, like you're saying, because a lot of people, we're all busy, and it's like we don't all have time, and then you reach out to people, and hopefully they'll leave feedback or comments. And if the no people, it's wonderful when the no's give you feedback as well, because then you can be like, oh, okay, I understand your issue, we can explain what we're doing better. Or I mean, we currently as a facilitator squad have one that hopefully will pass. We have another 2 hours, but just going through that process ourselves it's definitely, oh, need to drop out, oh, bye Fede.
Bye guys.
See you.
Thanks for coming. Yeah, but just that whole process it's stressful. I mean, like, I've gone through, I did my own one, I did an IRL event, and I was super nervous because you never know in regards to how is the community going to react. And it's emotionally like draining. I don't know if you guys have experienced that, or like, and some people you have to like, it's not like you want to say prepare yourself, but you really do have to like, prepare yourself for the what's going to happen.
Yeah, you're right. And I think I refreshed our proposal above 1,000 times over that 2 weeks. Just literally every time I picked up my phone, I was just refreshing the proposal, waiting for a comment to come in to reply to. It was constant stress, to be honest. One thing that we kind of brainstormed in a private call with the MetaParty core team, we were suggesting that anyone who leaves a vote should have to leave a comment with the vote. That should be mandatory, and you should have to leave like a certain amount of characters in your response. It can't just be like, I voted yes because I like the proposal. It has to be something meaningful, and if the comment isn't meaningful, then the vote doesn't count. That's something that we were talking about. I know, like, that would have to go through polls, and it would have to go through proposals to enact that, and it's in my opinion, it would really benefit the actual full system of submitting a proposal and getting feedback on it. If you could learn why people have voted no, that would be super beneficial in my opinion.
And I think a lot of questions would be answered, because it seems like a lot of people read, and I mean, they vote and they comment and they haven't read anything.
Yes.
Which is a common, because you're like, and luckily a lot of times the community will intervene and say, okay, look at this, but it's like, I think number one, this should be put up the top. Read the proposal. It might be, it might give you, and also like for me, like for 2 years, all I did was read proposals just to get ideas, and it was just really cool to see how they presented themselves, how they're presenting their project, what's being funded, what not. And I've been part of a $240,000 grant that ended 6 months ago. I've been part of the facilitation crew. I've done my own proposals in Wearable Protocol DAO, like in other places, and so the whole experience, like, it feels like, it's definitely like what you're saying, I think would be useful, but it's like, how do we get people to actually spend the time to read it? Because it's really hard. Most people won't. It's like any in politics in general, most people are like just vote on feeling. Like, yes,
sure.
But there are a lot of really amazing engaged community members who do take the time. So it's like,
that's true.
It's really hard.
It's very true.
Like, it's a
it
whole
is for
spectrum. Sure. But then again, you guys as a team want to get better, and it's such a great opportunity to be like, and sometimes you get these amazing ideas within these comments, right?
Very true. You do, yeah. Sometimes you get some amazing ideas, and I mean, for someone who has like a lot of voting power, see you being delegated like 100,000 voting power. It's hard to read the amount of proposals that are being submitted at the moment and actually thoroughly read them and have an actual opinion on them. I mean, that's going to take up a lot of time. If you go through every single proposal and genuinely read it and have a thoughtful comment, response, etc., that'll take a lot of time, like 100%. But I agree with what you're saying. I think a lot of people just vote on like feeling or past relationships with the people who've posted a grant. If they trust them, they're kind of very likely to vote yes if they meet certain criteria in that proposal. If they don't trust them, it's very likely going to vote no, no matter what the proposal says.
Yeah, no, it's like definitely an interesting, like, realm to study, right? To look in and see what's happening. And, as a facilitator, I kind of that's part of my duties, but I focus more on like, strategic comm side and stuff, but it's also such a fascinating thing to see how it's evolved over the last 2 years, or not 2 years, a year or so.
For sure.
And like, so do you guys have any like tips for, let's say somebody who's going to write a proposal or wants to do something, like, do you have any tips on like what should they do or not do?
I think like a must is put a pre-proposal out there to get feedback from the community, and maybe even before the pre-proposal, reach out to some people you have connections with in the space, ask for their opinions on it before you even submit that pre-proposal, and try and leave that pre-proposal up and active for like as long as possible. So you can get as much feedback before you actually submit a real proposal to the DAO. I think that'll be extremely beneficial for anyone who's creating a proposal or working on a proposal right now. In addition, like the roadmap and the milestones that you list in your proposal must be achievable. Like you should not overestimate what you're going to achieve each month. I think that is like key. Like we were really like honing in on that. We really didn't want to overpromise on any month, and we wanted to over deliver each month as well, while making our roadmap still like sound, interesting and amazing and beneficial. Yeah. But it's kind of like that fine balance of not wanting to overpromise and not wanting to underpromise, if you see what I mean.
Totally.
Yeah, well, you just got to be honest with the community.
Yeah.
That's the main thing.
But the thing is, like in every project, I've been parts of all these different companies. It's like things shift, and which is like, if you're honest from the beginning, you'll be like, and obviously with the updates, it's a great venue to be like, okay, we have to adjust, and it's cool to see how the community and all grantees kind of have to do that, but it's so important to do exactly what you're saying, that fine line between don't over or don't under, and how to navigate, because shit happens every day. Like things might blow up or might be easier, might be faster, and then like even in our recent proposal, like one of our members left, so we're returning all that money that we're going to pay him to the DAO, and it's like you may need more time, or it's just, you never know how a project's going to run.
Exactly. And I think like including a repayment system, like we kind of touched on earlier, is like, and as you said, a new trend moving forward with proposals. And Frisky really hit the nail on the head when he said that, that 60,000 that we've taken from the DAO, when it's repaid, that can be used for another creator. I think that's essential for like sustaining the DAO, allowing new creators to get proposals, as long as like everyone is legitimate about how they're actually going to repay the DAO and don't over or under promise on that as well. I think it's a perfect thing to add into your proposal. Well,
it's important to have leaders like you guys who are doing it, implemented it, are going to do it, showcasing it, and be like, look, we're doing it. We're not just talking about it. We're like, sure. and it's great how you integrated, obviously. So it's like it's going to be paid back through NFT purchases and through whoever plays the game, or can you explain a little bit about that?
Of course. So we've got 3 different ways that we're repaying the DAO that are listed in the proposal. Number 1 is through meta sales. So when we get the Cyberstrife RPG listed as a meta on the MetaZone website, there's going to be a smart contract in place, which means 10% of all meta sales are going to go directly back to the DAO. They're not going to sit in our wallet for a month or whatever, then we're going to send it back. It's going to be automatic. So literally after each sale, 10% goes straight back to the DAO. In addition, we're going to be doing 10% royalties on merchandise sales or wearable sales or NFT sales. So anything that we sell through Cyberstrife NFT on OpenSea, through wearables, 10% of that's going back to the DAO, again through a smart contract. And then we have sponsorship fees as well. So we have worked with around 4 or 5 sponsors over the past 4 months inside Decentraland, and we were giving 10% of that sponsorship fee back to the DAO as well. Again, through a smart contract. And I need to figure out how we can get that implemented with a smart contract, but it's 100% going to be sent back to the DAO. We just need to figure out how we can implement a smart contract into that sponsorship fee repayment system. But yeah, that's kind of the 3 ways we're going to be repaying the DAO. And in addition, any future IRL merch that we have been brainstorming about, 10% of the royalties will go back to the DAO on that, and we'll be repaying the DAO until the full 60K is repaid.
Oh, that's awesome. In regards to what your community approach to everything, the monthly community fashion shows are really cool. How you provide a place for community members to showcase their work, and it's for free, right?
Yeah, so we did 2 community fashion shows this month that we were reaching out to community leaders for sponsorship fees, but 100% of the sponsorship fees that we collected was used for prize pools, and that was for the past 2 community fashion shows that we did. Our real passion for community fashion shows started with Metaverse Fashion Week earlier this year. We did like a 3D event during Metaverse Fashion Week, and that was just a huge success within the entire community. Everyone enjoyed it. Everyone loved showcasing the wearables. That's how we connected with Frisky, and that's how we connected with a lot of people inside the Decentraland who we still have good relationships with now. So yeah, we decided to relaunch the community fashion shows, but we needed funds for the prize pool, so we were charging a sponsorship fee. Moving forward from now, from December, since our grant has passed, there will be no sponsorship fees involved. Everyone who creates wearables is welcome to come and showcase their designs down the runway. They'll be talked about on the stream. They'll be asked to come on for an interview if they would like
Awesome.
during our live streams at the community fashion shows, and we'll be doing that once a month. So in December, it's going to be festive themed. We do have a preview of the build coming in our presentation that we're doing at the town hall. So keep your eyes out for that. It is a short clip of what the preview of the build looks like. We've made it snow around the actual fashion show build. We've got Christmas trees and presents and Santa there and everything. So it's looking dope. And it's good, yeah, as I said, festive things. So Christmas jumpers, Christmas wearables.
Nice.
That's what will be showcased down the runway. I'm currently hitting up wearable creators right now, people who we've already worked with. Obviously, anyone who paid a sponsorship fee in the past 2 events, they've been invited to come and showcase their wearables for free right away in December. We don't want the event to run for like 6 hours because that's just so draining for the host. So we're gonna have to cap it. We're gonna have to cap it at like maybe 20 creators per fashion show. But yeah, anyone who creates a wearable is more than welcome to showcase their designs down the runway.
Also, you have the regular live streams and podcasts, right? And that's Frisky,
Yeah.
and then
Me too. Not me.
you too. Okay, I was wondering. I was going to ask you.
It's on this side for me, so.
I know it's up there. It's like the Brady Bunch.
So yeah, we. Oh, sorry to interrupt.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
For the live streams, Frisky's hosted a lot of live streams with the DCL report. Moving forward, we need, well, essentially, I'm in the UK and the Wi-Fi over here sucks. So if you head over to my channel, it really sucks. If you head over to Rezinator on YouTube, you'll be able to see I've did like over 100 streams inside the Decentraland at MetaParty events mainly, and my stream crashes due to my Wi-Fi. So it crashes like 3 times during the stream, and I have to like restart the stream, share the link out again every time it crashes. So it's been more hassle than it's worth over the past like 2 weeks. But I have got a new Wi-Fi coming in January, the start of January. I've got a new Wi-Fi being set up, so hopefully that won't be an issue anymore. But yeah, just because of the extremely poor quality of the Wi-Fi in England, it's kind of limited my streams a bit. And this month we've just been extremely busy on the actual parkour and mini game events. We've been trying to make them as unique as possible each time we host one. So we've done 12 events inside the Decentraland so far this month. We have plans for like another 6 this month as well in December. But we did jungle parkour, we did Aztec parkour, we did pyramid parkour, we did a meta diner, which is kind of like a perception. It kind of messes with perception a little bit. You're going to walk in, it's going to be like sausage party themed-esque. So you're going to be tiny. Everything around you is huge.
That can be taken lots of ways.
Oh yeah, true. I'm more meant it as if like you're gonna feel like one of the pieces of food that's fell off the table in this diner, and you're kind of hopping along the crumbs to get to the finish line of the parkour.
That's cool.
And you're pressing buttons around the build to like power the sign which says that the meta diner is open, and you're finding buttons to power the grill behind the counter and stuff like that to collect keys. And yeah, you can earn parkour crowns and cyber masks from each of those events. So by completing the parkour, you obviously get the parkour crown, and by completing the cyber, or by completing the find the key challenges, you get the cyber mask wearable, and then you can redeem those wearables for bigger prizes in our Discord. We've been working on a few collections behind the scenes. It's kind of like prize collections. So yeah, you can then redeem your crowns and your masks for bigger wearables.
No.
You do that in the builder. I keep thinking you can't do that in the builder.
Yeah. Well, all of that is in the builder, mate. All of the apart from the asset packs that we make. So we've got like a few 3D designers on the team. We've got Yummy, we've got Frisky, we've got JK, and we've made a bunch of different asset packs for parkour over the past month. We've been making a lot of different asset packs, and we're just trying to make as many different themed parkour events as possible instead of having one build and just changing the parkour inside of that build for each event. It gets a bit repetitive and boring. We want to switch it up and have, each parkour be themed, each challenge be themed. And then the idea is, while we are making these challenges, we'll be able to deploy the Cyberstrife game on top of this. So the orb, the generator, the enemies, that'll all spawn on top of whatever build you've got, kind of like Rovi here. So Frisky's got the build that he's bought from the MetaZone website, and he's also got the Rovi game that he's also bought from the MetaZone website. He's deploying them both on his land, and it goes really well. So this is what we kind of envision for other creators and other landowners in the space. Like, they have their own build. Maybe it's just, even an empty parcel. They can deploy the Cyberstrife game here, or they can deploy on top of their actual HQ or their build, and it shouldn't interfere with the scene whatsoever. It shouldn't it shouldn't cause any issues with the build that you've got. And I think you'll be able to move around the assets around the build, I believe. Frisky's probably going to have more information on that. He's more experienced with it. As you can see, he's got Rovi working inside the Decentraland right now. So how does it work, Frisky? Can you just drag and drop the Rovi around this parcel?
Yep, pretty much. So once you set up, have it all established with MetaZone, if you're the parcel owner, as soon as you spawn into the land, in the bottom right corner where you see the MetaZone logo, or I might be able to see it on your side, but you might see Rovi, but on my end, I see the MetaZone logo. So when I click on that, a remote controller pops up. So now you have sub menus where you can go to, let's say, where it says donate, or where the Rovi holograms are at, and now I can move where the hologram is at. I'm gonna try to see if I could do it in real time. Let's see if it actually works. Let's see. Let me put save. Cool thing about it is it gives you the ability to move things around. So all right, it just popped up right in front of you.
Do you want to you can screen share your screen here?
Oh, cool. Yeah, sure
thing.
Let's see.
Presenting.
All right, let's see.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So you see how this Rovi hologram I have selected? So I can select multiple things. So for example, I wanted to move this. I can use the remote controller to place it wherever I want on the parcel. I could put it up to the second floor. So it gives me options to move whatever meta I have saved on the land. And it gives me the power to mix and match. So now I can have if I wanted to maybe next week move all the Rovi holograms to the second floor, and maybe I might have an event because I have a pool upstairs. Now I have the ability to, move things around and play around with it, so it gives us the ability not only to, move things around, have different metas installed in the land, and incorporate a new kind of theme to it. And also it'll also kind of I guess complement any event that goes forward. So say maybe, in a month I have a cyberpunk theme event or whatnot, I could, bring everything to the third floor, have a cool screen, live events or whatnot, and have people play the game as well. So that's what's so unique about MetaZone is the ability to even just have this controller, because when you open Visual Studio Code, you have to type in these kind of things. With this, you just literally select whatever you want. You can move them around, and it's just super cool. And
it should be the Decentraland should be like this automatically,
Yeah, no, it's super. This makes it more I have a kid, my son, and my nieces. They're Robloxaholics, and that's all they do. It needs to be as easy as especially if you're starting out, drag and drop and experiment, and that's so cool. I didn't realize it was that easy.
You should be. I think. Can you add a functionality to them, or you just have to buy the meta and then
Yeah, you could buy the meta, and the cool thing is too, you can also if you have a GitHub repository, you can link it to the land. Let's see if I could maybe it might not work. It might work, but
once you get to about MetaZone's images is how they appear. How that image is appearing behind you.
Yes.
I just don't like how the images appear, but
everything
else is good.
Yeah, so for that was an actual meta. And this is where I, reach out to MetaZone and I was like, hey, it was a picture frame meta. So when you click on it, it takes you straight to the website where, the wearable is published at. So I reached out to Corv. He helped me with a little bit of the coding in order to make it look nice. And now with this picture frame, like it changes, but it changes to different wearables, and that's what's so unique. Like, there's so much metas in the MetaZone website, so it can attract different, whatever you want. You can have showcase your wearables. You can, have different games. Like, there's just so much you can do with MetaZone, and having that power and those capabilities, integrated, here with MetaParty, and having that partnership will bolster our efforts in creating an immersive experience to the community.
No, that's really cool. And okay, let's see. I have a couple other questions here. I guess maybe walk me through a day in the life of your guys' work, because you're just like, you don't want to know.
How long have we got?
We just bitch and work all day. Is that what happens?
Basically.
So I mean, I can give it a go. Obviously, me and T3 are in the UK and Fisky's in the US. So I'm up till about 6 or 7 a.m. in the UK, having meetings, working on some projects inside Decentraland, launching events. So I normally get to sleep at 6 or 7, wake up about 12 and just get back to it, get back to MetaParty, hosting events, making videos, etc. So I'll normally wake up, open Decentraland, hop in, just go explore for half an hour inside DCL. I'm trying to get as many minutes inside DCL as possible moving forward, because I feel like I'm missing a lot of stuff by working and just focusing on MetaParty. So I do want to have 30 minutes just to explore Decentraland and see what new stuff is going on around here, and then I hop back to MetaParty, start working on the events. I normally handle the regular events that we do, the community fashion shows, etc. So I'll start working on an event that we have coming up, and then I'll finish that event up, make a promo video to put on Twitter, promote the event via Twitter, Reddit, Discord, the Decentraland events page, and try and get as many people to come through to our regular event as possible. Then I normally have a call with Frisky and T3. We normally discuss the progress of Cyberstrife, the game, maybe any wearables we've been working on, just have a team meeting whenever everyone's free, and see where T3 is at with Cyberstrife, and where Frisky's at with MetaZone, etc. And then we'll host the events. I'll try and be in the Decentraland for the event, if possible, if I don't have a meeting, etc. And then I'm normally contacting as many brands or organizations as possible that could potentially want to host an event inside Decentraland. We're having a really exciting event coming up with Lighthouse on the 5th of January.
Oh,
so Lighthouse
cool.
is they're super dope.
They're
the team is so
cool.
nice as well. Super nice guys. And yeah, we have a really interesting event coming up with them. It's going to be cross metaverse, so it's going to be inside Decentraland and Hyperfi. And it's going to be a C3 scavenger hunt going across them metaverses. You're going to have to follow me on Lighthouse, the actual website, to find out which metaverse I'm in, what coordinates I'm at, etc. And then you can jump to me through the Lighthouse app. But yeah, normally trying to onboard as many brands as possible into Decentraland, and then normally finish up the day's work at about 6 a.m. and then get my 6 hours sleep and get back to it.
Damn, dude. That's the job of 5 people in one, not including, I'm sure, Frisky and T3 are the same. It's and that's why, I mean, every one of those things you just said takes a lot of time. People don't realize, just doing one of those posts, it's not okay, you just do it. It's you have to edit, you have to do this, you have to tags, you have to, everything is that's a lot, man. You need a couple extra people on your team, man.
Well, luckily T3 and Frisky put in just as much work as well. It's very evenly shared, the work balance at the minute, which is dope, and it's been very productive for us. So I'm interested to hear about T3's day, to be honest, because normally he'll wake up with about 10 DMs from us saying, "Here, T3, we need this."
Stop traumatizing me.
True. It's true.
What did I get up? I get up at 10, 11, and then I just code all day, sometimes all night. Ta-da, that's it.
Yeah, a lot of coding.
I sleep on occasion.
I just, on occasion.
That's true. Yeah, on occasion he sleeps. That's actually true, to be fair.
I think I've lost the ability to sleep, actually. So.
Yeah.
No, it's really hard, especially since it's 24/7. There's so much going on, and there's so much to do. And for me, I'm like, weekends, what's that? I just like, and the thing is, I think we're all here for the same thing. Where we love this space. There's so much to learn, so much to do. Like, and on my weekends, I do the same thing, except it's technically it's a weekend, but not really. Like, I just keep working.
Right. I get exactly what you mean. Literally.
So in regards to
metaverse.
like team building and like what tips do you have for people wanting to like create a team? I mean, you guys obviously have an awesome dynamic. That's not easy to get. I mean, that's something you have to obviously build over time. Like, what tips would you offer on that for people?
It took us like a year and a half to build it. Build the team.
Yeah, literally. You're right there, man. It literally took us like a year and a half to develop MetaParty into anything substantial in reality. And I'm lucky that I came across T3 and we connected, and we have a good relationship, and we always have since we met each other. And it's the same with Frisky. Like, we just always had like a positive relationship, and it just made sense to like work together, especially with T3. He's from the UK. There's not too many people in Decentraland from the UK. It's not like massively represented. So as soon as I come across someone from the UK, I'm normally like latch onto them inside
UK jokes.
yeah. We have our inside UK jokes and our sarcasm and stuff like that. And it was just, yeah, exactly. It was too easy to work with T3. Literally, like too easy to work with him. And obviously, it's the same with Frisky. We just have like good relationships, and we talk things out a lot as well. Like, we have a lot of calls, and everyone gives their own point of views, and it's very respectful, and it's always like very positive vibes in these calls and on the meetings. We always try to have a laugh while we're doing serious work as well. So just, throwing in like random jokes and, just trying to make it enjoyable while doing as much work as possible. Yeah.
I mean, that's what you got to do. You got to find people who you want to work with, because if you're going to make a team, especially like over a very long period of time, if you don't like the person, then it's not going to work out really. At all. Yeah. So we've had people come and go with MetaParty. That's fine.
We have, yeah.
As said, like I said, it's taken a year and a half to get like this free, the main core team, because people get interested in it for like 2 months and then go, I'm doing this, I can't do it anymore. So it's you have to go through a lot of people to get a good team.
You do, yeah. You're right, man. I mean, we're also lucky that we came across like Yumi, for example, who's just super talented at 3D design. We have a community moderator who is unbelievable, like JK/Frosty. He goes by a couple of different aliases. He's just like a dope community manager, like on the ball constantly, comes up with some really like interesting ideas. So during the World Cup, Frosty created a World Cup prediction tournament just off his own back. Didn't even really like ask for any help with it whatsoever. He just like literally created this channel in the Discord. We were like, what the hell is this, man? He was like, I'm going to start this World Cup prediction thing. And he was like, we were like, wow, that just sounds like a dope idea. And that was all off his own back. So I also like to work with people who have like initiative, and ideas for, events and, community building inside Decentraland. And that's what our team really consists of now, is people with just a load of ideas, people with a load of like work ethic as well, and people who are inspired by Decentraland and Web3. Like, T3 is definitely right. We've had a lot of people that come and go. Some people like will see that, MetaParty is doing well in terms of like wearable sales. Let me try and like show the designs I've got and try and make a profit off them and stuff like that. We've never really like been a lot about profiting, and like we've never until we're creating. You're right. When we first like started creating wearables, we had no idea what a wearable even was. We were just like, oh shit, you can like sell this for mana and crypto, and mana's like $5 at the moment and all that. So it was a learning process, but I think we quickly realized that we're not really here to like make a profit, make a living off the Decentraland yet. Like, that's not what we're looking for. We're just kind of looking to build in the space and develop a community. And it's just a perfect team at the minute. It really is with MetaParty. We're fluid, and everyone's happy and excited with the proposal. But yeah, like, people have come and go because they think, let me just come and try and make a profit off MetaParty quite quickly. And that's not really how we do things here at all. It's more like a long process, it really is. And that's normally when like relationships don't work. It's when people are just in it for the money.
Yeah.
and they're not in it for like the space, and then they'll quickly disappear if they're just in it for the money. To be honest, like as soon as they make like 100 mana, they're gone, disappear from the central land. You know, it's strange, but you've got to kind of sift through those people and find the right
Good
people to work
ones.
with inside. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I think just through building, you kind of like open up opportunities, like you're saying. Like you get to know who is really building in the community, like when you start creating stuff, because then it just seems like you attract them. Builders attract builders, right? And like
Yeah, for sure.
Exactly.
and it's funny that you're saying like a lot of the key components of what you guys have been saying resonate a lot with me, because it's like for me it's like if I'm not having fun, what am I doing there? Like play and fun are key, and it's like that's where the magic happens, play and fun. If you're having playful fun time at work, I've always worked in amazing places where that I allowed it, maybe because if it sucked, I'm like, I'm out.
Fun time at work. What's that?
Also too, what's so unique about the MetaParty team, and kind of like to highlight what Rez and everyone's saying, is like the work ethic, man. Like, when you try to find a good team, like, and I'm speaking from like leadership, from the Army for almost 10 years now. Like, it's really hard to work in a small team if you have people that doesn't have that drive or that work ethic. And there are going to be hard days. There was a lot of hard days here at MetaParty, especially pre-proposal, drafting, getting the builds up. But one thing I learned from the Army is the phrase "embrace the suck." Even though it's a crappy situation, you got to embrace it, have a smile on your face, joke about it, and just keep moving forward, man, and that's the kind of drive that everyone here in MetaParty has. Like, we did have some rough days, but we still, were able to push through, embrace it, and, came out on top as a team, and it's always a pleasure working with these guys.
Yeah, sounds like, what's his name, Jocko? Do you know who he is? That one guy? He's a YouTuber, I think. He's an ex-military or SEAL, Navy SEAL. Yeah, that sounds like something he would say, embrace the suck. And it's so true, because, but the thing is, in the suck, as a member of the community, it's been a rough couple weeks for me as well, but it's also like, okay, like, it's all in the mindset. Like, I'm the one reacting to this shit. Positive or negative, I decide how I feel. So it's like a lot of times and I work my ass off, like, I'm like you guys, because I enjoy it too. It's not like we work our ass off because it's like, no, this is a labor of love, and it's like, it kind of fuels yourself. It's almost like you have to kind of stop yourself. You're like, okay, it's time to take a break. But like that mindset of that you guys obviously have is so beautiful to see, because it's like, that's key. You gotta like, and that allows you to find each other too, to find those like-minded, like positive, cool people. And yeah, let's go back to one of my favorite things. I love interoperability. I love cross metaverse. I build in different metaverses. I love seeing devs working collaboratively with different metaverses, because that's where the magic is. Like, this is, in order to like not have a place like Meta take over, you have to have collaborations between these open metaverses. So I think it's like, I love how you guys are doing these cross metaverse events, and maybe chat a little bit about that.
For sure. So we've been trying to do cross metaverse events for like over a year now. We first did a cross metaverse event with a metaverse named Madagascar. That was with like Mozilla Hubs, that metaverse. It was an interesting project that I kind of stumbled across myself just on Twitter one day. Joined like a Twitter space, and someone was talking about they're building their own metaverse. The land was pretty cheap, and it was in Mozilla Hubs. I've never been in Mozilla Hubs before, and we decided to host like a cross metaverse festival. This was like, I want to say like November 2021, I think, when we did this. We contacted like this French band called Lustig. They performed within Decentraland to start with. Then we switched it over to Madagascar, and we had DJ T-Rax perform as well in Madagascar. And it was interesting. It was a learning process. The community did not like Mozilla Hubs at all. Nobody liked Mozilla Hubs whatsoever. We quickly found that out, that people were really hating on Mozilla Hubs. So that was a learning process for sure. Yeah. Not every metaverse is good. Not every metaverse is at the same level of Decentraland, should I say?
But it's not even. I don't think he was making a metaverse. He was just using something that already existed, and then
so it was like a prefab that he just like invited people.
Yeah.
Like,
it's like he used Mozilla Hub's rooms, and then just connected it to his land and stuff. So
Yeah. But it was very new to me. I never even heard of Mozilla Hubs before finding out about Madagascar. And that was like our first experience going into another metaverse. And then after that, I was kind of scarred by Mozilla Hubs. I just stuck to Decentraland for a while and didn't want to go into any other metaverse. But then quickly started to realize that like Sandbox is amazing. Spatial is also very dope as well. And, that is the future of the metaverse, in my opinion, is like cross metaverse events, cross metaverse NFTs.
Yep.
So, for example, MetaZone, we had a call with them the other day, and they were essentially saying like that they agree that is also the future of the metaverse. They have plans that metas will be available to deploy in multiple different metaverses down the line, and I think that is like super interesting. That like this Ruby asset that Frisky has could also be played inside Spatial at the same time, and you can kind of like level up in Spatial, then come back to the Decentraland, have the same levels carry over into DCL. Like that's so interesting to me, and I can't wait for that to happen.
Levels.
Yeah,
dude, that's when it really gets cool. Not just deploy it, but transfer your points, and like crypto avatars, with their VRMs and their wearable, everything they do. It's like the cross metaverse as well. You can download it and bring it to multiple places, and that's cool. So that's that's the plan for your game as well. You could do, right? You could deploy it elsewhere.
That's definitely what we want to integrate later down the line. We also need to get it working in the Decentraland to start with, and then we'll go into the different metaverses.
You need to get it working.
Let's talk about this cake. We got to get this cake done, then we can build other cakes, man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're not only looking at other metaverses for like the Cyberstrife RPG. We were also brainstorming a Decentraland invasion of Spatial. So Frisky has a dope build ready for Spatial that is kind of being prepared for the past month or so. I believe it's been like worked upon over the past month, and it's looking pretty dope. And we want to launch a Decentraland invasion. So every creator inside DCL is invited to attend the Spatial event and just have their logos up on the wall for free, and just have some links to their own like wearable pages, maybe their Dropfo account, maybe their OpenSea links or the Discord or Twitter, etc. And then have everyone on a joint call in Spatial talking about Decentraland. And the idea there is to bring players from Spatial into DCL, because we still want to onboard new players any way possible. And we believe that like cross metaverse is a pretty interesting way to onboard new players. So by hosting a Decentraland invasion in Spatial, hopefully we can bring more people back to DCL with us.
Yeah, and I think it's important, like you're saying, like to just like have a environment where like devs across multiple metaverses feel welcomed in every other metaverse.
Yeah.
It's like some people are like, oh, it's just this. It's like, no, it's all of us building together in this crazy space,
For sure.
and see how we can in every metaverse. You're saying some you like more, some you don't, and then how to like take the best and from each one and build within those. And I guess like maybe I won't go ask the question that got the uggs, but like, what do you think of this quote? The value of land is only as valuable as what's built on
it. It's very, very accurate in my opinion. It's very true. I believe that like the reason why Decentraland is like still very popular to this day is due to its community. Like compared to other metaverses, Decentraland is still like up there in the top two, I believe, like Sandbox and DCL right now, like daily active players, and that's all due to the community. I believe that like Decentraland could do more to onboard new players as well. Like Decentraland could be hosting more festivals more often to like onboard new players into the space and promoting that in certain ways to onboard new players. But if it wasn't for the community, I don't think there would be barely any active players in the space right now. And I saw an image of the map of Decentraland when I first joined in like late 2020, and I saw an image of the map in late 2021, and then an updated image of the map in 2022. It's insane how many scenes are being built and how many new areas there are on the map, how many new points of interest there is. It really is insane. It's crazy. Have you seen those images?
I think I've seen some of them, but yeah, you should definitely link them to me, and I'll include it in the edit. I'll show that. Another thing that I definitely would love to see more of, and I think there's been different community members, they met up about doing like IRL Decentraland events. That would be epic. Like the one that I hosted was a small one. It was just like part of a closing conference about DAOs, but like ETH Denver is coming up. They're having a whole metaverse section, like all these opportunities to like to bring, to have build-a-thons, wearable build-a-thon. Wouldn't that be epic? Like, have a bunch of people
That'd be
just
so
like,
sick.
I just was part of my first
That'd
hackathon
be
at
awesome,
DevCon,
man.
and it was so much fun. Like, I was building metaverses. I built a metaverse and deployed it in Monaverse and in Decentraland, and everybody was like, what? And it's like, yeah, like it's so much fun just to be in a room with other creators and just like somehow to
it's
do something
awesome.
like that would be wicked, right? Like, I don't
It
know.
would.
That's how I got into programming. There's things called hackathons. You probably know, right? What a hackathon is.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's like you build a phone, but you build stuff with code. And the first time I got into coding was I went to one of those. Because the only reason I went because there was free food there,
Yeah.
and I went to get the free food. But I ended up getting involved in some project somehow, like I always do, and went on from there. Coding, just like those kind of events make you like realize how much you don't know and how much you need to know.
Oh,
Because you want to be better than all these other people, but they're super cool and know loads of stuff. So I'm like, anyway.
Well, that's how the hackathon I was a part of. It was a 3-day hackathon. It happened before DevCon in Bogota. And it was, they fed us, like, seriously, just the food alone was insane. It was like full-on decadent meals all day, all night.
Wow.
But also just like, I was me and this other girl were the only non-devs, but it was really cool how we were also embraced. Because, I still built, I used Unity and Blender and deployed metaverses. And she did her side. She was an environmental researcher. But to be around that community of like, just to be in this intense kind of like oven almost with other creators and other devs
It's
and
really
learn.
cool.
And just like you're saying, everyone knew more, but we also we actually won bounties because people really liked what we created. But it's amazing. I think the importance of like going to these, having more Decentraland participate in these hackathons, no matter where they are, and just having people who are builders showcase what they're doing would be really cool.
A wearable phone sounds amazing, to be honest. That sounds super dope. So essentially, like, what people would have a weekend to create the dopest wearable they could, and then they have to submit it, and you win a bounty if your wearable is picked. I've never been to a hackathon myself, as you can probably tell. I've never been to one myself.
You're thinking along the lines of exactly what
I think you'd like it. I think you'd like
totally love it. It's so fun. Especially imagine if like there's like 5 Decentraland people there, and then we're like, there's all these bounties. They're like, well, let's make something that incorporates some of it, and it gives you, there's a lot of freedom within what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, it's like you can either do a brief or do like something on your own, right?
Yep.
So I kind of switch between. It's like sometimes I follow the brief, sometimes I just make some random thing that I want to make. IRL hackathons don't happen anymore, so there's no food. So it's.
Oh, they do happen. They do. They're I mean, I was in ETH Lisbon, and I was in Bogota, and like I didn't have time to do the hackathons in Lisbon, but there's a huge hackathon happening in ETH Denver, like a week before. I was there last year and helped put, with the people I was doing stuff with. They're the art curators of there, but they're doing a lot of stuff. They have the metaverse track, so this is the year. We should talk. We should do something.
Wow.
That's in the US though, Denver. I mean, there used to be one in Manchester every year, but they're not doing it anymore. It's like,
yeah.
Come on, do it again.
UK really sucks.
You guys have to come there. We actually our group actually rebuilt the sports castle in Decentraland last year as part of our grant, but like. Yeah, you guys should all come. It'd be fun to hang out.
That'd be sick. That would be sick.
To make something like random, it's always good. And to see other people making it as well, I'm like, haha, I'm better.
I really wish there was more meetups and more like DCL events in the UK, because like there's barely anything happening like in terms of like DCL meetups for us in the UK. I mean, I know like some things happen in Europe. I know obviously you mentioned Lisbon there, but like I don't think we've had a DCL meetup in the UK as of yet.
I don't think so. Maybe one in London. People. Maybe.
I think that was NFT London though, and there was just like the Decentraland section of it. Yeah, but like I mean, for us in the north, like Manchester upwards, there's literally like barely anyone who knows about the metaverse, barely anyone who like builds in the metaverse. And if you tell people like, hey, I'm in the metaverse, they literally look at you like you're insane. Like literally, like they're like, wow, this dude like on another planet. Literally.
Welcome to my life.
Unless it's on the BBC. If it's on the BBC, then it's real. If it's on the BBC, it's not real.
I always kid. I tell people I just work in tech because I don't even explain to them what I do. They just look at me like, exactly, I know that look. But like, I'm curious, like, what are some things like in I think lately in Decentraland, it's been an interesting like kind of like. Not turmoil, but like there's been a lot of things happening. Like, what would you think would be really good to see in the community to lead us more towards the light?
in my opinion, it's more events like Metaverse Fashion Week and Metaverse Music Week, right?
Yeah, music
More
festival.
events like that. Yeah, Metaverse Music Festival, that's the one. More events like that where Decentraland collaborates with the community. So like we were just so honored to work with Decentraland on Metaverse Fashion Week 2022, and it was very beneficial for us. Like seriously, very beneficial. We were getting wrote about in the same articles as like Tommy Hilfiger and Dolce & Gabbana, who were also running in space, and that was so beneficial for us. And I love to see that Decentraland carried that on for the Music Fashion Week. And they had like Frankie Needles had a stage there, and Frankie's been in the space for like a while now. So it's dope to see that Decentraland is still collaborating with the community when it comes to these events. Obviously, Rage Nightclub, I believe, had a few events during Metaverse Music Week, Metaverse Music Festival, that's the one. And just more events like that, like more fashion weeks, more music festivals, more concerts inside DCL where we're onboarding big artists and also working with the community. So it would be dope to see, let's say, Crystal City start to host an event and they have Soldier Boy performing at Crystal City, and obviously it's Mariana and the Wonder Zone team who have made that happen, and they've had to work directly with Soldier Boy, for example. Like I think that would just be so dope to see moving forward into Decentraland, and it would inspire a lot of the creators that are already here, and obviously onboard new people through the artists that are performing. It would also be dope to see like Soldier Boy perform and also post about it on Instagram, for example. I know we had like Jason Derulo perform inside of Decentraland, but he only tweeted about it. He didn't put a post out on Instagram, and in my opinion, that's a loss in my opinion, because he has like 7 times the amount of followers on Instagram as he does on Twitter. So if he was to post like an Instagram reel for 24 hours about the event inside Decentraland, that would have brought so many new people into the space, but it didn't happen. Yeah.
It just wasn't the right time, right? But
I mean, I've also had people say like Decentraland's not ready for that many new players to come on, for Jason Derulo to put an Instagram story on. Decentraland's not ready. The servers could crash. People have said that to me. I don't know how true it is, but obviously we had so many people in Metaverse Fashion Week, and it was running decently smooth. I think I crashed like once over the 3D events, and I was running a worse computer than I'm on right now. So, I mean, Metaverse Fashion Week was decently smooth, and we had so many people. We had 22,000 people come to just the MetaParty land over 3 days. So
awesome.
I don't understand how it's insane. It's insane.
Wow.
And like, I don't understand how like a post on Jason Derulo's Instagram would then crash the servers. Like, surely it's going to bring maybe less than 20,000 people in. Let's say it brings like 5,000 people in. That shouldn't be too much for DCL to handle, right? Like, surely they can handle 5,000 players coming on.
yeah, I'm sure they're like of a contingency for like they've like at least tripled the amount they can take. So let's say they take 3,000 a day, then they've got a server which can deal with like 4 times that amount, right? And they won't go like to 20,000 because they don't have the play base, so there's no point buying the server, right? So all depends.
But then they must have had the server for Metaverse Fashion Week, man. They must have had
they must have had. They've either upgraded it because they expected more people. That's what I'd do. If I was expecting more people, I'd get a better server. But depends. I don't really know what they did.
Yeah, I mean, also like that New York event, there's a ton of people. Every the festivals the last couple of years. I've also just downloaded about like a couple months ago the desktop client also helps substantially.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
for sure.
I mean, they need to do stuff like that. They need to like make games easier to make in Decentraland.
The SDK is going to help with that.
Yeah. I've looked at it. It's well. So there's the editor, which allows you to kind of code visually, and then there's the actual code, which it's actually a lot easier to use. Do you know what HTML? Do you know what HTML is?
Yeah.
It's in that kind of.
See, I've done basic coding, so I understand. Like when I look at the code, I get what's going on. But like to write it from scratch, that's a whole. It's like you understand the language versus when you write it. That's a whole nother level.
Yeah, it's like just reading it and then thinking it up in your head. So it's like that's like the next step. I mean, the SDK in Decentraland is very tricky. It's like sometimes if you've written it for a different application, it would work, but in Decentraland it doesn't work. So you have to kind of shake it.
I feel your pain. Like I worked with a coder for our 6 months, and he was just like, he's been doing stuff, building in other places forever, and it's just like this is the most frustrating. But it again, it seems like they're
It's 'cause
making changes to make it better. Hopefully, that's the
Yeah.
It's because of the preview. The preview is just the most frustrating thing in the world because it just doesn't load a lot sometimes. So
Oh,
that's why it's
a pain in the butt.
frustrating. But
The
yeah,
some of
they
them
need,
builders, the some of them builders so frustrating for me as well. Like
it is.
making
Yeah.
it's I really I don't like despise is a very harsh word, but I don't know any other word that's coming to my head. Like describe the Decentraland builder. It's like I've had an ongoing battle with the DCL builder for the past like almost year and a half, literally. I'm just a bit upset that like no updates have been made to the builder over the past year and a half. Like I don't see any new asset packs. I don't see any new like shortcuts or like even the ability to like cut a window out of a build or something. That should just be like basic in my opinion. Like you can do that in the sandbox builder quite easily. You can
You
literally
can
just
like crop stuff.
yeah, crop it. Yeah, you can cut things in half, etc. You can't do that with DCL Builder, and it's so frustrating. In addition, like every time, like say if I'm making quite a heavy scene, like when I'm using all 12 parcels that we have, and I'm trying to make a parkour, and it's at like 100,000 tries. Obviously, I'm going in to preview the build. Every time I preview it and then come out of preview, builder crashes, literally crashes. And if I haven't saved my work, then it's gone, literally. So yeah, literally, if I haven't clicked download, then it's gone, literally. So and that obviously happens a lot. It slips your mind when you're really in on making something and you just click preview and then it's gone. It's
They do it like automatically
so
sometimes. Like I've done it and it's just fucked me over so much.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Like you can't get out of preview, nothing loads back in, and you have to refresh, and all your work's gone. It's like, oh
stupid.
man.
It's like once you go in and come back, and then nothing loads because you come back out of preview. It's like, why have you done this?
SDK7 should be like revolutionary, really, right?
I hope it's going to be good because I want to like make games with you, Rez. I want to really make games with you, you know. And if it's if it's the DCL edit and it's going to be what it is, what it says it's going to be, then can make some cool stuff. So always a pet dream of mine to make games.
T3 is like years ahead of me in terms of like creating games. He obviously uses code to make the games, and I'm still stuck on Builder, which is just so annoying. And obviously you can't like you can kind of do like a shared wallet on the Builder. So we do have like a shared wallet which has the operator rights for the MetaParty parcel. But it's just like only one person can really make an update at one time is what we found. Otherwise the Builder crashes, you can't save and stuff like that. So it's not ideal, but I would love to make a game of T3. All I can really do at the minute is just give my input on the games that he's making, and you know what I mean. So
we'll there one day. We'll be teams. We're already a team, but we'll be core buddies.
Yeah. I mean, coding is so far like I don't know how to explain it. Like I've tried to learn coding over the past year and a half, and I just get so frustrated so quickly, and I just haven't got the patience for it. Literally,
that's the one thing with Blender as well. You just need patience.
Yeah.
Like, for sure. Really need it, especially with code. Fucking hell, it's just sometimes you feel like you bashed your head against the wall. Like with this now, I mean, I'm at a point now where I'm bashing my head against this wall. It's like okay.
But I mean, Frisky tells me that like. The Builder, you have to have the most patience for the Decentraland Builder due to all those crashing errors and all the time. That like so.
I think Decentraland in general needs patience. Just as an application.
At times, yeah.
It's great. I love it, but obviously, there's things wrong with everything. You know, everything
can be improved. Yeah.
And I think they're well aware, and I'm hopeful for the like you're saying, SDK7 too, just for myself too, and for other people who want to come in and not have that experience be so brutal. Like it could be, obviously coding no matter what. There's always those issues, but it's still like, that needs to be a lot easier because a lot of people are jumping into sandbox and things like that because it is a lot easier.
It's so much easier.
I mean, like it's not a saying. It's a saying that I've developed. Like code never works the first time. And I think a lot of people know that. It's like if you just code something and expect it to work, it's not going to work because no matter what you're doing, no matter how easy it is, it's just not going to work first time. So
Well, this has been. I guess my last question would be like, so people if they want to like come into your events, is your Discord the best? What is the best way for them to like get to know exactly what you're up to so they can attend all these awesome events and parties games that you guys
Of
are
course.
The MetaParty website.
You need to get like a test sign.
Don't look at it. Don't look at it.
Still working at it. It's in progress, right? Isn't that one of the things you're working on?
Yeah.
Yes, it is. So over this month we've been like developing the website. Literally every night we've been trying to make some updates to it, kind of in the background as we're doing a million things at once. But yeah, we need to still improve the website, which will have like links to our Discord on there and links to our Twitter on the website. It'll have like a contact page. There's going to be a preview of the website on the updates we've made in the town hall presentation we do. But also you can search www.metaparty.cc right now, and it'll take you to our website. Just bearing in mind it's a work in progress, and it forever will be a work in progress. I don't think a website can never be finished. We're going to have to constantly update it with events and wearables that we're making and games we've made, etc. So, I mean, the website's probably not the best place to find out about our events right now. I would say go over to Discord. Yeah. We've been building our community in Discord organically, literally like very organically for the past 2 years, and we hit over 5,000 followers in Discord. And then obviously when the Decentraland player base dropped off, there was people leaving. So we're at about 4,900 right now, trying to grow that back to 5K as soon as possible. But we post every event we do in the announcements channel. We post previews of the upcoming events in the Discord as well. We have like private channels for Cyberstrife members or private channels for people who are really active in the Discord. You don't even need to own an NFT to take part in 99.999% of our events that we do. Everyone that we've done for the past like 2 months has been free, but we still want to reward people who have bought our wearables, supported our project. So we do like VIP events, maybe once or twice a month. We try to put them in as much as possible. But yeah, the MetaParty Twitter, the MetaParty Discord, and obviously the Decentraland events page, something that I'm quite proud of. I figured out that every time you create a Decentraland event, if you save the link, you can just click back onto that link. See the event expires, right? And you forget to renew it for another day, you can just click back on the link and that event will still be there, and you can just renew your event page. And over the past 2 years, we've had like 2,200 RSVPs on the event page. We're number one on DCL events. That's something that we're proud of, for sure. Yeah, for sure is. And that was just big thanks to DCL putting us on like trending while Decentraland was exploding. So while DCL was like literally getting so many new players in from the Facebook announcements, they had us on trending, and everyone was joining our Discord and RSVPing through that. And I get that question maybe once a week, like, how have you got 2,200 people saying they're going to attend each event you do? And I look, that's not the case. Like, our events are recurring, that the Decentraland events page is recurring, and those people who have RSVP'd have did that over time. It's not 2,200 people RSVP into each event we do. I wish it was, but it's not. Right.
It will. It's heading there.
It will be in the future. Yeah, it will. Yeah, for sure.
Well, this has been amazing, and I'm stoked that I get to like interview you guys in the beginning of your project, and I can't wait. Hopefully, we'll have a follow up. Once all of this stuff is up, and we can run around it.
That'll be dope.
That'd be great.
Sure. But yeah,
Sure.
thank you guys for sharing with everybody your journey, your story, and yeah, I can't wait for the town hall to see the little preview that you guys have for us.
That's going to be awesome.
Thank you for having us.
Always nervous about that. Okay.
It's fun. We're there. It's just a bunch of nerds who love or fan people. We're all fangirls, fanboys.
Nerds.
Yeah.
Shut up, nerd.
But Tillians, thank you very much for having us on. We really appreciate it.
Oh, I'm stoked. Thank you guys. I was like, when I asked Frisky, I was like, yes, because I've been part of your, going to your events, part of your community. But it's always so cool to hear, like, all the stuff that goes into it and all the hard work, and like you guys, were saying, it's like day in the life is like nonstop, and
yeah.
But it's great also to know there's other people like me working nonstop. It's like, hey, what's up, Frisky? You up too? Now I know you guys. I'm like, MetaParty, D3, what you doing?
I don't know if Frisky's still awake, to be honest, but
I know. Wait, what time is it for you guys?
It is. What is it? It's 6 p.m. right now for us.
Oh, okay, it's not horrid then.
It's not that bad. But I've had 1 hour sleep in the past like 36 hours or something.
Shit.
So I've been really working on that.
Yes.
Oh, that's brutal.
Really
trying to push that town hall video like out and get it finalized. We didn't actually realize it's our first presentation. We didn't realize you need to submit the video 36 hours before you
Oh, you're not the only ones, trust me. I know the Grand Sports God, they're like, nobody ever turns it in on time. They're like, can I have more time? They're like, sure. You're not the only ones.
I think.
Yeah, thank God they've allowed us more time. But yeah, definitely been grinding on that non-stop for the past like 30 hours, literally trying to make it perfect. But yeah, we're super excited to present at the town hall, and obviously we've only been doing our project after the Grand Pass for 19 days. It will be at that town hall, but we wanted to still present what we've already been doing over this month.
Great.
As we're still doing like quite a lot of work, so it'll be awesome to still present that. And we're doing a meetup inside Decentraland after the town hall. Actually,
Yeah.
We've got like a kind of. I'm kind of finishing off this. I'm doing a million things at once, honestly, but I'm kind of finishing off this town hall build, this meetup build for after the actual town hall inside the Discord. And dope, that'll be sick.
So I can't wait. I'm like, ooh, all the more reason to hang out and show everybody. Yeah, and I need to do a POAP. I want to do a POAP for it because I've been doing POAPs for all the other ones, but sometimes everyone likes some gift, a little party gift. But I'll get to that.
Like, we also have like a ton of wearables, by the way. Like we got like essentially like a treasury full of wearables that we can give away at these events.
I love giveaway. People love it. If you want to give away them, I'll make a Google. That's even better. If you want to give me some, and there's usually about 20 people that come in, so I can just give you the Google, either like just include you in that Google forum. You could either send it to me or you can send them to them. That would be awesome.
It'll be awesome if you can just collect the wallet addresses and then I can mint them like through the builder pretty easily. That would be sick.
Yeah, I'll do that because that's what I've done in the past for the POAPs, and like I'll do a little Google form. People will be stoked by that. Thank you. That's super cool.
No worries. So we got like, have you seen the Meta Soldier? Because we have like 3,000 of those wearables left to give out. We've also got like the parkour crowns.
That was like one of the first ones that we
did.
It is,
yeah. It's actually the only wearable with like a realistic gun. It's the pistol.
Oh,
the
only
one. Because then after that got passed, we did the Exo Soldier, which had like dual akimbo pistols, and the curation team said no, you can't have that. No more realistic guns inside the Decentraland. Everything has to be like fantasy style moving forward. So yeah, the Meta Soldier is like the only wearable that's like a realistic gun inside the Decentraland.
So yeah,
I think that one. Buffalo. I have his wearables. Yeah, I have some guns. I interviewed him a while back. He's awesome. But like, his little like guns on there. I think they kind of snuck by. But yeah, no, that's wicked.
I remember Gold Guys, which it was like this ankle one. But like, if I show you the one that I've got right now, literally my finger is on the trigger of this pistol. Like,
you can screen share if you want.
Dope. All right, let me hop onto this call. I can screen share, but I'm standing right in front of you inside the center.
Okay, there we are. Okay, where are you? Oh, okay.
It's right in front of you. So it's literally like risky, it's an actual. It's a Glock.
Oh, I see it.
Yeah,
that's definitely
in my hand.
Like, that's definitely not like. See, like Buffalo has like old school Western, so maybe that was stylized enough. But yours is like, he's out to get me. I better run.
We didn't really intend it that way. We honestly didn't intend it that way, but it is a bit intimidating if you look at it right now, for sure. It's a little bit intimidating. Like my finger is literally on the trigger of the gun and everything.
I think in the future, like, have you guys gone to that snowball fight game they have?
Well, I haven't yet. I've been meaning to check it out every morning.
It's so fun. Have you been to it, Frisky?
No, I haven't. Is it good?
Oh, dude, it's awesome. I'm like, I think every dispute in Decentraland should be like solved by going to snowball fights. You win, Kish. You get to shut the fuck up, and you get the honorary. It's hard though. I mean, I suck at it, but it's really well done. I was like, dude, this is really cool and like super fun.
That's dope.
Yeah, I suggest you go.
It says DCL Foundation. Who created the snowball fight?
I'm not sure. I'm always like that too. I always ask them like, who did this? Then the art, everything about it is really cool. Like your snowball pack fills up when you run through the pack. Like you can refuel yourself. Yeah, go there and have fun. Like you're like, no, we have to work. It's like, watch out, you'll spend hours in there. That's what I did yesterday. I was like, okay, I gotta get out of here. I gotta get working.
What do you throw the snowball at?
Each other.
Snowmen.
No, each other.
Oh, wow.
There's teams.
Snowman.
So there has to be at least a certain amount of players, and then I was playing, but. Our team won, but I sucked at it. I was like, I think I hit once, but it's still so much fun.
That's like that's pretty cool.
But that's
I
like
think
a
that might be
multiplayer
checked
thing, though. That's like
Yeah, it's
websites and
super
stuff.
fun. Yeah, go in there and like as a team, you'll be like, "Why did she show us this? We got nothing done. our town hall
No.
video's not done because of Fractilians. Blame me. I take it. I'll take it."
Yeah. I've already blamed you, so don't worry.
Oh, good. No, I'm fine with that. I'm like, I'm all about asking for what is it? Not permission, forgiveness. I don't ask for permission. I just ask for forgiveness.
Okay.
Awesome. Well, I'm
All right.
excited to see you guys. I guess it's tomorrow. I can't believe this week has already disappeared.
Ooh.
And
Yeah.
No kidding.
yeah, and please keep me posted on cool shit that you guys are doing. And definitely, like at the end of your grant, I would love to do this again, and you guys can show off all your cool shit.
Oh yeah, that would be
I
awesome.
hope so.